back. What's going on, Pounders? Today, we're going through 5 classic fills that every drummer should know. We're playing them fast, we're playing them slow, and then, I don't know, pound like and pound subscribe. Let's go. Starting out with one of my personal favorites.
Grange, they got a lot of nice girls. I got a lot of nice girls.
I've always loved this intro ever since I heard first bar band play it or whatever. But the accents are what make it cool, so practice it slow until you get those down. The cue that I use to enter with this fill, because it's so long, is the...
They got a lot of nice girls.
And when you hear that, then you got like, I think it's 2 bars until the fill comes in. Yeah, it comes in on the and of 4, so make sure you guys are listening for that so you don't miss the entrance. Alright, now we're looking at a Bonham fill, and this is one of my personal favorites because it's always challenged me as a player, and I never really figured out why until I tried to play it slow today. And I realized that because Zeppelin never used a click and they relied so heavily on feel, that this fill is actually just like a little bit off from what it should be. And we'll dive into it here. So what makes this fill really tricky is the entrance. And I believe what Bonham was intending to do was come in on the and of 4. But instead he comes in more like on 1. And then in order to compensate for that, he squishes the fill together. So he actually makes it like a 4.5 beat fill and squishes it into a 4-bar fill, which makes it really weird. It makes the timing really challenging, and I'm sure they used a visual cue when they did it in the studio and live. So apologies if my slow version of this isn't entirely on point, but I did my best to show you guys how it's played, so I hope you guys benefit from that. Alright, next we're looking at a Neil Young tune, and every time I played this in a cover band, I always played this fill wrong until this video. It only took me 4 years to finally learn that fill. He doesn't play like a standard 2-bar fill, you know, he's playing over the bar and then he comes back on a 1 and it sounds really cool and it just like grooves really well with the song. So another favorite of mine. Ah, so groovy. First heard this in a bar gig when I was probably like 16, and I've been hooked on this fill ever since. And what makes it really cool is it's like a hemiola pattern, so it plays, you know, it's 3/2, so it plays over the bar and then it comes back in on 1. And it's only a 2-bar fill, so it's not like super tricky. If you were to keep that pattern going, you can really screw with everyone else in the band. Play it enough times to get comfortable with it, because the 3/2 pattern is simple, but can be challenging to use if you're not familiar or comfortable with the polymeter thing. Alright, so this one's super tricky because of the counting. The way I count it, the audience is actually clapping on the off beats, so it's really easy to hear it incorrectly. If you listen to it this way, it sounds like there's an extra 8th note at the end of the phrase, which doesn't make any sense.
Cheap Trick isn't a prog band.
So if the first kick is beat 1 for you guys, you are counting it the same way I am. That means that those 2 leading snare hits start on beat 4 and then the kick is 1, and then the audience is clapping on the offbeats. So that was kind of tough for me to internalize, so what I did was just listen to it a bunch of times until the way that it was played and the way that it feels and sounds felt right. So what's cool about this one is it's actually super easy to play. It sounds really fast and all flashy, but it's just a lot of quads between snare, tom, and the bass drum. So it's going to be right, left, kick, kick, right, left, kick, kick, right, left, kick, kick. And it sounds really cool, and that's the beef of it. So make sure you guys pound like and pound subscribe. Give me some more fills in the comment section below because I do really enjoy doing these videos. They're pretty easy to make and they're a lot of fun. Learn some new fills and hopefully help you guys learn the fills as well by playing them slow. So yeah, see you guys next week.